part 4 of the Gangstalking Training Manual, and we are going to kick off with trade-related punishment. Trade-related punishment. This section will give some examples of ways community-based agents, CBAs, with specific trades or situations in the community can apply deniable punishment to targets. Let's go down the list. Underground utility crews, where the management has been recruited, schedule messy, noisy maintenance at the target's home or business if the target runs a business. So this can include having the street torn up for extended periods or repeatedly. Funding for unneeded work is available. So instead of feeding like hungry children all around the world, funding for unneeded work is available from headquarters. Taxi drivers can delay arriving when called by the target, especially when going to the airport, so you miss your flight. Let's go down the list. Bus drivers have leeway in nasty weather, for example, to stop one stop away from a waiting target. Do you see how deep this goes? So bus drivers have leeway in nasty weather, for example, to stop one stop away from a waiting target and wait there for perhaps 5 minutes or so, ostensibly to get back on schedule. This can also cause a target to miss connections with the next bus or train. This is especially effective when the target, exposed to bad weather, can see the bus waiting up the street for no apparent reason or not stopping at all at their stop. Repair tradespeople keep getting it wrong, necessitating many recalls, be late, be messy, overbill the target, and even damage things which were okay. This is especially effective in the automobile repair trade. Moving down the list. Medical lab technicians can substitute blood samples. Are you hearing this? Medical lab technicians can substitute blood samples or otherwise falsify results, making the target appear to have absolutely no reason for their complaints. Be careful out there, people. Next one. Police can frequently pull the target over for frivolous reasons. Telephone and cable TV technicians can reroute legitimate calls to the target's number in large numbers, and this will cause the target to get very angry with these totally innocent callers. Next one. Store staff, where the target shops frequently, can be instructed to remove item the target is known to need when a target is known to be coming. Store management can stop ordering a target's favorite items. So when you go shopping, your local shopping center or your local shop, and you pick up, I don't know, maybe your breast chicken every week, you want to cook on Sunday, it's not going to be there. Wow, this just goes so deep into the rabbit hole how, we are truly living in a matrix. And I just want to spread the word because a lot of this stuff has happened in my life and I didn't know really what was going on until I came across this manual. Okay, so just to let you know, guys, you are not going crazy. This stuff is really happening out there. There are some seriously evil entities, corrupt officials, corrupt organizations, just very, very evil energies out there, and we have to be very careful. But knowledge is power. So this is the next one. Restaurants and food delivery services can tell the target they are out of an item known to be a favorite of the target. The key to successful punishment by tradespeople is that while the target is very likely to know they are being punished, these punishment acts must appear to the public as life's normal breaks. So guys, we're going to move on to number 8, target's home. So number 8 is the last main one. Punishing the target at the target's home is essential for effectiveness of Secret Service operations. If the target were punished in the community but was allowed sanctuary in their home, the creation of a prison without walls. Did you hear that? The creation of a prison without walls would not be complete. One of the very first things the Control Center, CC, will arrange is for the homes or apartments adjacent to the target's home to be occupied by both community-based agents and members in the Electronic Operations Manual. And this, my friends, is my experience. Because operations are carried out 24/7 in shifts, homes and apartments which are based or owned by staff are not used as dwellings. So they don't want to get their own homes involved. Of course not. That would be ruining their lives. They don't want to do that. They don't want to get their own homes and families involved. The lease or deed will bear either an entirely false name or the name of a senior staff member whose actual home will be in a different location. Some adjacent homes or apartments are occupied by neighbours of the target who have offered to cooperate in punishment of the target. The initial contact of neighbours to determine their willingness to cooperate is done by senior staff. The incentives to cooperate are often tendered. Here are some commonly used punishment activities which are carried out both by CBAs and cooperating neighbours of the target. Activities are rotated among the choices, but at least one of them is applied daily. This is the list. Noise. Noise must be a type which the general public deems normal. Remember that the goal is to have the target aware they are being punished, but not to be able to convince anyone else that that is the case. Observe local noise curfews, but plenty of punishment can occur outside noise curfew times. The target must not have easy cause to involve law enforcement. Examples: start leaf blower, times precisely when the target attempts to enjoy their yard, or when EC operators cue the CBA that the target is trying to nap. Next one, loud music from neighbouring home. This is an excellent action, as it is common. Time it so every time the target opens a window, the music starts. The timing makes the point it is intentional punishment. EC operator can apply music in adjacent apartments with exceptionally powerful bass directed at the target's unit. So this is the next one. Frequent squealing of tires near target's home. In apartments, frequent drilling into a scrap of wood or masonry held against the target's wall, floors or ceiling as if working. So just pretending to work, just pretending to drill a hole, Alternatively, hammering. Been there over and over and over again. Especially effective when cued by EC operators that the target is attempting to nap. Tossing golf or tennis balls against the target's home when the target is known to be trying to fall asleep. Ideal for cooperating neighbors, children. Next one, frequent use of sirens near the target's home. Many emergency services employees have a strong sense of community service and willingness to cooperate in this, or by people posing as Jehovah's Witnesses. So the next one, knocking on the door for frivolous and or nonsensical and or wrong address reasons. Don't open the door unless you know who's coming. Especially effective when the target is in bed or having a meal. The question is, do you want to get up and open the door to somebody you didn't invite around? Or do you want to interrupt your meal and open the door to somebody you didn't invite around? If you get a security camera, then you know exactly who's at the door. The next one, trash. Leave trash in the target's yard frequently, but CC staff will assist in scheduling this so that the target can't quite have a case on which law enforcement will act. The next one is terrifying the target's pet. This requires entry while the target is away from home for an extended period and must be scheduled by CC. Electronic corpse EC operators can render a dog or cat passive for safe entry of the community-based agents by electromagnetic beam. Wounding or killing the target's pet. So rarely used, scheduled when the target has acted in a way so as to deserve special punishment, like divulging the name of a criminally acting secret agent. Wow. I'm just going to leave that right there. The next one, killing domestic animals or wildlife and leaving them on the target's doorstep. Wow. I'm just thinking something's just come to mind. I've had a dead dog near my home. I've had a dead pigeon left by my car tire, things like that. So that's just brought that back to mind. These people are very, very sick. This is the next one. So the next one is where the target owns substantial land, noxious activities can be arranged and built for next to the property. In one case, a dump, an auto racetrack, and a prison were built adjacent to a target who owned a large farm in an area of natural beauty, because you know they just like to make things ugly, don't they? So imagine the expense, right? Imagine the expense and the money and the finances that goes into doing this. An auto track race, a prison, adjacent to a target. Who owned, they're literally proud of this as well. Like in one case, a dump. In one case, a dump, an auto racetrack, and a prison were built adjacent to a target who owned a large farm in an area of natural beauty. Take that in. While this is rare, it does illustrate commitment to delivering punishment to those deserving of it. But the only problem is they're not deserving of it, are they? The next one. Cooperating police departments can visibly watch the target's home, possibly being parked in front of the home when the target returns repeatedly. Police officers who refuse to take complaint of harassment and sabotage of the target, who they label disturbed. So apparently you're disturbed, but none of this behavior is disturbing. None of this behavior is perpetuated by disturbed people, but you're disturbed. Okay, let's move on. So who they label disturbed really are not allowed to make diagnoses, as only medical doctors can do, but may get a price for their unlawfulness afterwards. Police follow orders by example. Stay Behind, secret military-led organization created by the CIA after World War II in NATO countries. They give orders in secrecy to police, media, legal system, and judges, etc. Thus, being above parliaments and governments, as demonstrated, for example, in Norway, when in 1957 the chief of Stay Behind, Sven Arlested, gave the security code of Norway to M16, in brackets British intelligence. In the UK, acting on his own, we have to trust our allies, he had said. Today, the security code of Norway is kept in Wales. Originally, Stay Behind was created with good intentions to fight communism. Today, it is out of control, and a new, much bigger Stay Behind 2 is active in Norway. The Stay Behind logo resembles the NATO logo. In Italy, Stay Behind was called Gladio 2 and dealt with terrorism secretly in Western Europe. It was responsible, for example, for the kidnapping and killing of Prime Minister Aldo Moro in 1978, while the blame was pinned on the Red Brigade. Today, enemies are communist and NATO is the opposition. I have no idea what this has got to do with innocent people being targeted in the community. None whatsoever. So we're just closing on this part. On November 22nd, 1990, the European Union forbade Operation Gladio. But although Norway follows most EU decisions, this one is omitted. Italy and Belgium had terror actions by Stay Behind, and when the organizations ceased to exist, the terror operations also ceased to exist. In Norway, Stay Behind is called E14. What was its role in Norway's terror actions, if any? Some have tried to get control of Norwegian Stay Behind armies already, years ago. Who are the back men giving orders to those officially in charge? The late Chief Medical Officer of Northern Finland and targeted individual Dr. Rauni Lina Lukanen Kildare. So that is the end of the main Gangstalking Manual, my friends. I think I'm just going to read, let's see, other tactics. Let's have a look. So I'm going to close with this reading. I will be back with a bonus reading, other tactics, in the next video. Until then, peace out. out. Peace out. Peace out.